I'm davidg.com. What on earth is Kundalini? This video is about equanimity and the dilemma you have in the West regarding the concept and embodiment of it. If you're in the East, they encourage an experience of acquiring self-knowledge and subsequently non-attachment in the form of a word called vairagya. Non-attachment. So in the non-attachment to experiences, there is an ability to not respond. You've got to watch the words that start with re, because they're almost dirty words and dirty experiences, because we remind or we react, respond. It's all from the past. We're replaying, replay some sort of impression in our mind. I found in this culture, the West, when you work in a hierarchy, there's a big chance that the people that have gravitated towards the hierarchy embody certain personality traits. We won't go into those personality traits, but all I know is through their sieve of their belief and value systems, they interpret that you should act in a certain way, especially in regards to discipline. I have found personally, if you do not respond in a way that they anticipate, then that further allows for an inharmonious interaction. They may be at the top, but with equanimity, if you don't respond in a way that they want you to, then you are seen as something else. And I don't mean something special, just someone who's arrogant, which is probably them, and not caring, which is probably them. They don't really know that you're reflecting them, or what they get angry about you embodying is something to do with their shortcomings. That's not the issue, and that's not what the video is about. This video is about the drama of equanimity. How can you embody it in the West? You can do things calmly and maturely and consciously. I'm personally not that good at it. Sometimes my lips move automatically rather than going through the three gates of, is it necessary? Is it the truth, and is it harmful? Most thoughts are recommended to go through those three gates before being expressed. All I found is that there is a dichotomy to do with equanimity as opposed to vairagya, or not opposed to it, it's the same thing. But in the East, vairagya is awesome and accepted and embraced. In the West, non-attachment is seen as a downfall or an emotional inability to express things appropriately. No wonder I'm struggling. The other thing is the enlightenment concept. Some people enlightened over in the West, you know what happens to them? If they go to follow the traditional field of mental health, and they talk about the spiritual dimensions, I've anticipated that they are put on some sort of heavy metal medication such as lithium to try and stop them thinking about the subtle dimensions. If you got realized and got infatuated in the West, there are traditional roles that you can go into, but in those traditional roles they're bound by hierarchies, and the behaviour expressed within them is to a certain standard. If you experience enlightenment in the East, you're celebrated. That's seen as the goal of human existence. Sri Ramakrishna was blissful a lot of the time. What happened to him when he was blissful and in the state of God and the constant state of samadhi? People got near him so they could feel it. They fed him, they cleaned him. They worshipped him for his whole life. When he came back to reality every now and then, he spoke some common sense, which was appropriate for the everyday person. But in the state of God union, he was off his nut. If you experience God union in the West, you are seen as off your nut, and then some sort of medication will bring you back to the planet so you function in a socio-behavioural way that is seen to a certain standard. I don't know the answer. I'm just saying there's a bit of a contrast between the older cultures that endorse a spiritual perspective of life as opposed to the younger culture which more endorse a physical perspective of life. Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Mahadev, Sheshnag.com. Peace.